Hello everyone, welcome back for the third part of the chapter, an imperial capital, Vijayanagar. Today I'll be starting with a topic, the royal center. So this part can be asked as a short note for 3 marks basically. So now you can just write down 3 simple points for scoring 3 marks. The point can be like this, that royal center was situated in the southwestern part of the settlements. There were 60 temples in the royal center. Almost 30 building complexes have been recognized as palaces. They were proportionally big buildings. They were not used for any ritual functions. And the third point can be like there is a big difference regarding the structure of temples, as some were constructed by masonry while the other superstructure of the secular building was made of perishable materials. So these are the 3 topics that comes from this small point. Now let us come to know what is this royal center basically means. Now when we talk about royal center, it is an area, or it is a center where kings live, okay, or kings kith and kin lives here. So they have within the settlement itself, within the royal center itself, there are around 60 temples. Now among this, it is said that there are 30 building complexes which were considered as palaces. There are many, but out of that many there are only 30 which are considered as palaces, and these palaces are quite big, right? And they were not used for any other they were not used for any functions or ritual functions. They are basically meant only for settling or for their personal use. Then the third point, as I already read out, the third point you have to understand, that is why I'm just telling you again. It is said that there is a difference between the structure of a temple and the area or the constructed machinery. That means the way it was constructed, the temples are constructed and the other buildings are constructed, there are far difference. So our next topic is the Navami, Diba. So for this you can take down a question. Discuss whether the term royal center is an appropriate description for the part of the city for which it is used. So it is from the textbook, question number 6. So just in the previous part I have just talked about the royal center. So here you can combine that royal center along with Maha Navami Diba to compile your answer together. It is a 8-mark question, or you can say 8-mark answer. So now let us once again go through the royal center. The royal center existed in the, as we have said, it is in the southwestern part of the Vijayanagar. It had more than 60 temples. Through these temples, the rulers of Vijayanagar tried to establish or strengthen and legitimize their authority. They associated themselves with the divinities housed in the shrines. Then the royal center, it also have around 30 palaces, as we have discussed. Now many buildings had large and distinctive structures. These upper structures were made of perishable materials. Now many of these buildings were not associated with ritual functions. The main complexes of the royal center were as given, like the first one is that the King's Palace, right? Now the King's Palace, now what is it? It is the largest complex of the royal center. There is no definite evidence to show that it was a royal residence, but it had 2 impressive platforms. They were called as the Audience Hall and the Navami Diba. The King's Palace was surrounded by a high double wall with a street running between the 2. So let us first discuss about the Audience Hall. It was a high platform having wooden pillars at close and regular intervals. It had a staircase which went up to the 2nd floor, and then this staircase rested on the pillars. However, it is not clear for what purpose was the hall used. Then the next building, or the next thing that we can see, is the Navami Diba. Now it was a massive platform having a base of about 11,000 square feet. It has a height of 40 feet. Now it supported a wooden structure. The base of the platform was covered with a relief carvings. Now when you say relief carvings, means something which is carved there. Now there is one picture or one evidence which is shown in your book, as you can see here. So now relief carvings were there. Now rituals associated with the structures were also or probably coincided with the Mahanavami Diba, which was also known as the Dashera in the northern India, Durga Puja in Bengal, and Navratri in peninsular India. The rulers of Vijayanagar displayed their power, prestige, and sovereignty on these occasions. Now main ceremonies associated with the occasions of worship, or whenever they go for any kind of prayer services, they basically go for the worship of the image and worship of the state horse. And later on, like, there are many more things that was found, like through the pictures or through the carvings they came to know that sacrifice of buffaloes were done. Sacrifice of other animals also used to take place. Wrestling matches, then processions of horses, or decorated horses, we can say capronized horses, means decorated horses, elephants and chariots, and soldiers. Now rituals presenting or presentations were also put before the king and his guest. Like all these things were done by the Nayaks, and the subordinate kings marked the occasions. That means whoever present there, it is just like our Republic Day. On the Republic Day, many guests comes there, and then lots of tableaus pass around. So same like that, here also they show or they process different kinds of things, and then they pass through this people who are sitting around, and this mark the occasions. Like they make the ceremony very grand. Then these ceremonies not only continued or bring them some kind of happiness, but it also brings them a deep symbolic meaning. That is, who are important in that part, like who should be given more importance. Are these the farmers, carvers, or those who are painters? Now everyone, according to the king, like he said that everyone should be given some kind of respect. So that is why these ceremonies had great symbolic meaning. King used to inspect his armies and armies of the Nayaks in grand ceremony in an open field on the last day. It is just like, once again, a Republic Day. Like here at present, Republic Day starts with a guard of honor, where the guest or the main chief guest, he will inspect all this standing soldiers. But here, after the processions, then only the they go for the inspection. That means the king goes for inspection of army or the different kinds of groups, and this is done in an open field on the last day of the festival. Now Nayaks on this occasion used to bring different types of gift, and they also have different type of tributes which is given to the king. But anyways, many things or many questions also remain like unsolved. Okay, like some of the other structures which are there in the royal centers. Now we already know about audience hall, we already know about Mahanavami Diba, but there are some more structures which are found in the royal center, and these are used for what is the purpose of its building. It still remain as an mystery. Nobody could really come up with any kind of conclusion that okay, this building is used for some purpose of like gathering, meeting, or for cultural show, or for any kind of festival, or worship. So there are many more to be read, or many more buildings which have to be brought up to the people. They want to know, like, for what purpose these buildings are made. So many buildings are still a mystery for many people, especially why they were constructed. So our next topic is other buildings in the royal center. Just in the previous part, we have just said that within the royal center there are many buildings which are yet to be studied, or we don't know whether it is used for what purpose. That is why it is said that in the last line, it remains an enigma, means it remains as a mystery till now. So for this topic, you can take down a question, that is, comment on the Lotus Male and the Hazararama Temple of Vijayanagar. As I told you in the previous parts, that in this part questions may be basically very simple one. You can just construct the question on your own. So here also you have to just write something on Lotus Male and Hazararama Temple of Vijayanagar. So anyways, let's see what is this all about. So first of all, Lotus Male. Now the royal center of Vijayanagar had a very beautiful building. It was named as the Lotus Male by a British traveler in the 19th century. It seems to be a romantic area or a building. Now this is a picture of the Lotus Male. Now the British traveler, he could not make out that for what reason this was made, but looking at it, he just said it is impressive, so why not this turn to be a Lotus Male, so he just named it. Now however, it is not clear to many historians that the building was used for what purpose, but Mackenzie considered it to be a council of chambers, or means it's an area where people meet or sit together, and the king will invite his advisors and will discuss about, like, what are the strategies, what are the plans that have to be made for the upcoming days, or for protecting their own areas, or what kind of steps to be taken for developing their area. That is what all about Lotus Male. Then we got another temple or another building within the royal center, and this is the Hazararama Temple. Now what is this Hazararama Temple? So let's see. It is one of the most spectacular building once again during the reign of Vijayanagar. So it was probably used only by the king and his family. No image has been found in this temple, but it had sculpted panels on the wall. This included the scenes from Ramayana on the inner walls. While many of the structures at Vijayanagar were already destroyed when they were looted or sacked, many things were still survived, and it is the work of the historians that we are studying about this. And when you go through this saved, or the materials which is found, or the things which are survived or which has survived, you will come to see that these are very impressive works of the time, Vijayanagar. If once again, as I'm telling you, if you have any doubts, if you have any type of question regarding this chapter, please do not hesitate to write or comment, so that I can answer this in any way, either through notes or either through videos, right? So thank you for your time, and till then, stay safe and see you in the next video. Bye bye.